I've got an hour before my husband comes home, so I thought I'd go live again. This just in. Doomcock got more leaks from somebody inside Lucasfilm. Seems like it's a legit one. I think he's got some of the best contacts out there. Wanted to say this. Basically, they were going to use Rangers of the New Republic and Cara Dune to introduce the new bad guys, which would have been Darth Talon and Maul, or Talon and somebody else. And now apparently he's having a difficult time trying to figure out how to go through. Then this is the big one. This is big. This kind of leads to, I think, the distancing of people from Kennedy. Kevin Feige, and I will leave when I'm done. I'll hook up a description to the story. It's on Star Wars Direct on Instagram if you want to go check it out. Kevin Feige basically said he is not involved with Star Wars streaming or The Mandalorian. That's Kathy Kennedy. I don't really know what that means. I'm trying to figure it out. I put a query out to Cameron. Hopefully he'll see it and just try to decipher it. But you could construe this as him distancing. He mentioned Kennedy. He could be distancing himself from her. This week we had the article on Forbes show up. Oh, please hit the like button if you like what I'm doing here. We had the article in Forbes show up, and this looks like there's things going on. I would say if there's movement on Kennedy and what's going on at inside Disney and Lucasfilm, that you're going to see maybe stories like this come up. Hey, Vader fan 07, you're going to see more of this distancing, or yeah, that's exactly. And he mentioned the watching the Mandalorian. That's exactly what he said. He basically is dumping everything on her. And since very few things have been good, Mandalorian and Rogue One, yeah, he's distancing himself from her. I mean, he's like, no, I'm not with her. Think about it. This is huge. I gotta show this to Tom too. I think I did. It's just very interesting now. I sent it to, like I said, sent it to Cameron. I gotta send it to Doomcock. He needs to see it. I do believe that there's now movement coming. All right. I said it this morning, unless I forgot to say it, and I've said it before. I think Kennedy's gone long before October. In fact, I would say within the month, maybe two, at the most. I would say that the desperation of, and I guess Ripley went after EVS. He had a live stream taken down, and could have been something that had to do with Ripley or not. I caution those girls, Lady V and Kate, and their little friend Matt Martin. EVS has really good lawyers. He shut down Renfamous from talking about him, from referencing him, and unless they really want to start a fight, one they can't win, they should probably leave him alone. Okay, he will eat their guts and livers. Okay, that's just what he'll do. That's what EVS is a smart business guy. Okay, so I would say there's more movement on the removing Kennedy front. And to be honest, I think that I think that Chapek is like damn the torpedoes right now. He was basically given all the ammo he needs from the investors, and that's pretty much all the ammo anybody needs. But yeah, that was a very interesting thing he said. And of course, Kennedy's acolytes, oh, no, he didn't say that. He's saying Star Wars is hers. Okay. And that says a lot. Okay, you gotta understand the significance of this. Kevin Feige is a big goddamn deal. He brings in a lot of money. Okay. He brings in a lot of money. And him saying something like that, even mentioning her, not in a derogatory way, you know, not in a derogatory way, but it was pretty much like, I don't have anything to do with her. That's her thing. Translated, that's all a failure. Okay. And I'm sure, the bullshit firing of Gina, it did put a taint on WandaVision. I mean, it was going fine until, they fired they fired Gina, and now it's like, or whatever they call it, and now it's like, you know, you gotta look at it that way. He can't be happy. I mean, that this Kennedy is hurting Disney itself, all of its properties, and the Lucasfilm brand, just by being there. And I think they know it. I think Feige knows in a way that her time is theirs up, which is pretty interesting to me. I gotta say that I am very interested to see what else will come out as far as other properties owned by Disney, because he definitely distances himself from her in Star Wars. Okay, and that tells me her failure is so complete. Everybody's talking about it. And I'm not just talking about people at mid-level and whatever. I'm talking about the movers and the shakers. I'm talking about the Kevin Feige's and the rest. And that's big. I'm talking about, Spielberg and Hanks and Ron Howard, who sadly, poor guy, he's out of the country in Australia filming a movie. All those people are talking about it. Doomcock today said that Favreau is just gonna sit back and wait till Kennedy's gone, and that to me says I think he expects her to be gone sooner than rather than later. And of course, like I said, I think that that her minions in the story group know. And Junkman is banned. You don't come on here and trash my friends, especially when they've been right, and that's Doomcock. He had everything done on and figured out as far as the rise of Skywalker, and he's been right about a lot of other things. So if you're gonna come on here and troll me with that shit, you can fuck yourself. Okay, Junkman, I know you're still watching. Here from me to you. Fuck off. Okay, you're not welcome here. You're not. You are here to be a dick. You are here to waste my time. You got what you wanted. Attention. Now you're gone. Okay? There. That's how that works. Okay? That's how that works. You don't come here so you can pat your own goddamn ego. I don't give a shit about your ego. Okay? Your opinion, if you're going to come here and waste my time, means absolutely zilch to me. So, fuck off. Junk man, fuck off. You're not welcome. So, anyway, yeah, it's, I would say that they're waiting. Basically, Feige said he's only involved. I'm gonna give you the paraphrase, and if I miss something, somebody will jump in and fix it. Feige said, "I'm only basically I'm involved in making a movie. Star Wars is all Kathy Kennedy. The Mandalorian, I watch it when it comes out. I mean that's it. So basically, what he did was, oh, I know that, and I know that he's, if it's that junk man, I know he's friends with Ichibaka, but I don't care. I don't want that shit on my I can have a debate. All right, I can have a debate, but when it's a personal attack like that was, then like I said, fuck off. Okay. But anyway, back to Feige. So it looks like to me that Feige, yeah, and hold for how long? A week, 2 weeks? Hell, it's 3:41 here, so it's 1, 3, 2, 1. It's noon in California. We still have time to get news. We still have time to get an announcement. And I look at something big happening. Yeah, it did. I mean, if you go and read what he said, it's like, I mean, it's look, when the woman lost Spielberg's confidence, you can take it to the bank that she's done. And it's now she's just being petty. I mean, when some mid-level employee takes Gina's episode with Bear Grylls out of the running, that wasn't Chapek. That wasn't. I mean, that's Chapek didn't probably doesn't even know that show was going to be on. That's how distanced he is from a lot of the things that go on. He said it on Star Wars Direct. Go to Insta and then click. You have to go to their bio and there's a picture and then you click on it on the story. I'll put a link up. I sent this to Cameron so he could read it, but it's happening. I mean, now we've got her fellow film person distancing himself from her. But I'm gonna tell you something. In a perfect world, in the world that in the logical leading up to this moment in time, Feige should be the one going, I need to do better. And Kennedy, if she was smart, would be going, she'd be driving the bus. But because she, as an ideologue, and from what I've heard, hates Star Wars, she made some shitty ass decisions that instead of kicking Marvel's ass, Star Wars is getting their asses kicked, and that would never have happened if if George had stayed on. But the suits would get involved because suits are, you know, there's nothing more unsophisticated than a suit. All right, and I'm talking the Alan Horn type. They're not artists. There's a reason why they're suits. They don't understand anything that goes into telling a story. Okay, and that's really the problem, and that's her problem because she didn't really understand what she had to work, what she was working on, and what she had to do to keep it successful. Hey, Dave. I took care of a troll myself, Dave. It was Junkman, and it might have been the Junkman we all are familiar with, and it might not have been, but I ran him off myself. But I'm glad you're here. Since my other wrenches are not around, I'm, kind of going right now. Asia, I want you to go back and say, if she's being pushed out, I want you to think about it. And I want you to think real hard before we answer this question. Why would they, after pushing her out, allow her to choose her own backup? All right. I know what the answer is. Don't ever ask a question you don't know the answer to. All right. That's a rule. And that answer is no, they're not. In fact, I look at Favreau, and I know a lot of people, no, you won't take it. Well, we don't know. I look at Favreau as being the heir apparent. See, if you're a Star Wars fan like he is, being the head of Lucasfilm is your dream job, because then you get to play in the universe. You get to be the person that succeeds George Lucas, and think about how fucking cool that would be. Okay, I would be like, all right, let's do this. All I want is carte blanche to fire anybody that I have to, and then the hammer would come down. Pablo, gone. Matt Martin, gone. Any connections to the following websites, fan channels, Star Wars Explained, Hello Greedo, Steele Saunders, MakingStarWars.net, all gone. Those connections gone. The story group would be banished. Everything they wrote would be like, that's not canon anymore. And it never will be. I would say, if he wants it, I would say it's got a good chance. Okay, and I'm gonna put this out there because I talked about it this afternoon or this morning when I was talking about people on our own side not being able to answer or not being able to story matters group. You mean the story group? That's the story group. Star Wars story group, the Lucasfilm story group is Lucasfilm. That's what you're talking about. That's Lucasfilm. They'd be gone. Okay, they would just be gone. All right. Problem we're gonna have is the EU purists will still not like anything that comes out. And they'll be whining and complaining and bitching. They honestly believe that Lucas's vision and what Lucas really wanted was in the EU. But the very fact that we kind of know in some ways what his sequel trilogy would have been about, it has nothing to do with the EU at all. And I'm sure they don't believe it, but there's enough evidence out there to show that it did. Kira Solo, her brother Sam, there's a bad guy running around looking for Sith artifacts. And it's supposed to be Darth Maul and Darth Talon. And I think there's going to be somebody else involved. And Luke was hiding. That's not a story group. That's a PC group. That doesn't have anything to do with the movies. So I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, you guys are looking for things to get upset about. Okay? Don't. It's not worth it. Because you'll be upset all day long, every day, for the rest of your lives. And that is no way to live. Okay? We got, Lucasfilm is what we're concentrating on. So we do have people that won't like it. The problem is that you could actually make a universe using partly the EU, partly George's, partly, you know, stuff that you've grown organically yourself, and made it 20 million, a billion times better with George's input. Okay, think about that. You know, when, I'll tell you, when you look at the making of Return of the Jedi, and when you see the first storyboards and the draft of the script, and you see how different it was, that probably would be how 7, 8, 9, as far as what Lucas talked about, would go. You know, you have an overview, and then you write a draft, and then you change it. No, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. Which is what he did with Larry Kasdan. I'm gonna say this: Larry Kasdan does not like working with him because George Lucas was like, "No, we're not doing it that way." I mean, Kasdan likes killing major characters because he thinks it adds drama. If you're writing a fairy tale and it's basically kind of a feel good thing, why do you want to kill off a favorite character? Because and that goes to Larry Kasdan's hubris. It goes to Larry Kasdan's need to feed his own ego, and he doesn't understand Star Wars. And his, when you see TFA and you see the dumpster fire it became, hey, you know what? That's all Larry Kasdan and J.J. Abrams. Neither understand what they were doing. Neither gave a shit about preserving legacy characters. Uh, I don't, Dave, I don't know. I don't want to speculate until she's gone. I do think that Favreau would be a great start. I mean, if he's creative director, that would be fantastic because then you could see him having sway over the what's published, comic books, novels, la di da, blah blah blah. Okay, that's not hard to do. It's not. So I look at it and go, I think we've got a chance with all this and the Feige thing. Now that when I look at it, and the more I think that he is probably going to stick around, and him waiting there for her to go means she's out the door. And and I'll tell you, the reason why the story group is fighting so hard with this rewriting Ripley and attacking fans and calling Jeremy and everybody at Geeks and Gamers and all the guys over there outright, they know they're over. Because the only person keeping that little cabal together is Kennedy. And when she goes, they go. I mean, who did Pablo run to when Gina? Yeah, you're right, Dave. I mean, it could be Momita Sengupta could do that. Who that? I mean, think about this. I want you to think about this. What did Pablo do when Gina basically tongue lashed him all over the place after he attacked, after he was harassing her and bullying her over her relative having COVID? He didn't go to John Favreau. He went to fucking Queen Kathy. Kathy, she was mean to me. He's a crybaby. He's done. He knows it. If Kathy's gone, he's gone. Okay. And it's not that he likes his job. But he likes fucking with people. He uses it as a cudgel to hurt the rest of us. He doesn't like Star Wars. That book that I got is basically preponderance of Wikipedia posts. I mean, or Wikipedia posts. Big fat fucking hairy deal. Anybody could have written it. The fact that he allowed so much stupid shit to go into the High Republic shows he doesn't care. I know he's not really that well versed. I mean, there are people in the fandom. There are people in the fandom who actually could take him to school as far as Star Wars lore is concerned. And it's true. I could name them off the top of my head. I'm not going to. I could. And I'm not as well read as a lot of these people. But if you had me talk to him about Han Solo, Leia, the Star Wars underworld, and all the rest of that stuff, oh yeah, I drive him into the ground. Jedi, not so much. I'm getting better, all right, with that. My knowledge is peaking, as it were. But it's really, really going to be interesting the next month or two, all right, the next couple of months. We've got, okay, it's almost 1 o'clock East Coast time. Around this time, I'd be going to the barn and somebody would go, oh my God, this happened. This was just announced. So, no, they're not. They're not selling anywhere, Vader fan. They're not. And I'll tell you something. I don't think Disney cares. What is that question mark for? They're not selling. They're not. So, we just gotta see how this plays out. And the Feige thing was a big deal today. That's probably all we'll get today. But this weekend is the big, like, Sunday is when the Wall Street Journal puts out its Sunday copies, and other publications have their, and that's the day when all the suits get together, or all the suits kind of sit down at their kitchen tables or their breakfast nooks, and maybe on their yachts or whatever they do in Newport Beach, and or go to the golf course and talk about business. Okay. Or go horseback riding and think about business. I don't have little ones. I have a dog and a horse. I don't have any kids. If I did, I wouldn't let them read the High Republic. All right? Okay? Because my kids would either, if we had kids, they'd either be homeschooled or Catholic school, grade school. And, and at the age of 18, it's like, get a job or enlist. And if your grades were good enough, we'll put you in for try to get you a slot, an appointment to the U.S. Naval Academy. But at the age of 18, the umbilical cord, oh, they're fine, Lonely Seth, they're fine. The umbilical cord is cut. Okay, it's cut. All right, I'm done. We're done. We're not 3 hots and a cut. If you're between apartments, you can stay, but only for a couple weeks. We're not running a hotel for a flop house for our wayward children. You have to be adults now. Okay, all right. Thanks, Vader fan. So yeah, I just wanted to come in here and talk a little bit about the Feige statement because, he's distancing himself from Kennedy and Star Wars, which means shit's about to get real. And that's a public message. So that with the article, and I'm going to tell you guys something. The guy that wrote that article, Del Vecchio, he deleted his Twitter account. He wrote the article, dropped that grenade, and then left Twitter. Okay? think about it. I want you to think about that because he did that on purpose. I mean, that was obviously a purpose, and it was a hit from inside Disney. And now you've got Feige. Okay, she's got to feel the pressure now to leave. And they don't have, and they're not going to have any reason to defend her. I don't think to keep up her legacy. It's we'll see what else is happening with Doomcock as far as if he gets any more about what's going on with her, because if you remember right, last summer, she's had Lin-Wen Brennan put out a letter to everybody at Lucasfilm basically saying that Kennedy was looking to move on, and all of her supporters, blah blah blah. Yeah, so this has been boiling for a long time, and I think she made it incredibly easy for them to let her go early. Now, you guys are going to be mad. She will get kudos. She will get a float parade down Main Street, USA. She will get bottles of champagne and gold chains thrown at her. She will get awards and all the rest of this shit. But everybody knows it's all phony. And the only reason why she's getting it is to make her shut the fuck up and leave. Sign the non-disclosure agreement and scamper off. No, I wouldn't let the kids watch the sequels. Why? Daddy hate porn? No. I mean, it was the most disrespectful thing to Star Wars, and what Star Wars, part of the thing that Star Wars is about is family, that I've ever seen in my life. You know? And I want you guys, you know what? Firing Gina is. And I think they all know that. I think John knows that. Well, like I said, they're mean girls. They're high school mean girls. All right. Uh, Pablo's a crybaby. He can say whatever he wants as long as Queen Kathy's there. And now we've got Rewriting Ripley, which is connected to Matt Martin. The guys at Sci-Fi for You talked about that last night. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to tell Jeremy that Rewriting Ripley is connected inside Lucasfilm. All right? Period, full stop. I mean, they're followed by Pablo. They're boosted, and Matt Martin talks to the two girls all the time. So there you go, Lady V and Kate. All right. So yeah, it's a inside Lucasfilm hit piece to try to deflect the fact that they're an abject failure. But I'll tell you guys, in the end, oh my God, SEO, he looks like a mule crossed with a bat and a crow and a largemouth bass. That mouth of his, it's like, he really does. It's like, yeah, it is. I mean, it is. It is it's anti Lucas, anti family, anti hero's journey. It's full of critical race theory shit, and then they turn the one black guy in it into a token, and the Asian girl into a token. You know, it's they're everything they say they hate. Yeah, it's anti everything, and you know, again, I'm gonna say this. I've said this before. Some of you guys haven't heard me say this, But anybody who says culture doesn't matter, if they're conservative, they're fucking idiots. They're fucking idiots. Okay? If you watch movies, if you read a book, if you watch YouTube, you are part of the culture. Okay? If you stick your nose up at a movie that's been made in the last 20 years, you are part of the problem. Andrew Breitbart, God bless his soul, a true liberal in every sense of the word, said culture is upstream from politics. Think about that. Think about it. All right? They're politicizing culture. Our politics are absolutely the biggest mess on the planet. The most unserious people in the world who just go to DC to enrich themselves and to keep us down are there. And people, the purveyors of culture, Hollywood, music, etc., are very much connected to the DC establishment, lying, attacking the American values, baseball, mom and apple pie, and Chevys. I'm a Ford person, but they well, I don't think they've ever read 1984. I'll tell you a story. I've got a friend who schooled all of her kids, and she's still got kids in grade school. She's got two that are college age, and they've been communicating with their school through the internet. And they had a creative writing class, and they wrote. Their assignment was to write, "What would you tell yourself 20 years from now?" So they both wrote these things, and the teacher was like, professor was like, "Are you guys okay? I'm really afraid for you." Just a total fucking snowflake. So, mom saw the email from him and went, "Trust me, you don't want to get on this woman's bad side. She will crush you like a bug." And pretty much by the time it was over, he was apologizing to the girls. And I think they both got A's. But I'll tell you, the one girl did write something that was really scary about the vaccine not working and people being dragged away because they didn't think the right things and everything. And you could just tell the guy had never read 1984 because he would have understood where she was coming from and where she got all this. All right, but it was very interesting. You can make these people stop, but like I said this morning, listen to what they're saying, and then don't react. Reacting is different than responding. Responding is you take what they said, you form your response intelligently, smartly, wisely, coolly, and with no emotion. Okay. The object of the game, in my opinion, is to piss them off because they can't beat you. Okay. And that's it. I mean, really, that's just. I mean, that's the. And that's the bottom line. That's what those girls, my friend's daughters, did, and I was like, it was excellent. It was excellent what they did. I was proud of them, and they're not even mine. So there's a way to deal with this. There's a way to deal with rewriting Ripley. There's a way to counter their arguments. And when you think about all of this, in the end, the truth always wills out. History always seems to come out and tells you what really happened. I mean, every day they find things in the Middle East and in Israel that point to King David and the other kings of in the Bible. Every day, I mean, they found Troy, for crying out loud. If Troy existed, did Atlantis? Think about it. I mean, history has a way of revealing itself. And truth, facts, not just truth, facts. Fact and truth are different. A fact is, this is a can of Diet Grapefruit Soda by Wegmans. This is a fact. The can's made out of tin or aluminum. Inside the can is Diet Grapefruit Soda. Those are all facts. What's the truth of it? It tastes good. I like it. All right. You can get a 12-pack for $2.99. Pretty good deal. And when you can't get what you really want, you get this. So, the truth, again, is different than facts. And we have to remember that. But anyway, back to Feige. This was a very interesting little thing from Star Wars Direct. When I first saw it, I had an emotional reaction, and I thought, I better read this. So I read it, and I went, oh, all right. Pressure's on. And it's not on anybody but Kathy Kennedy. It's not. We just gotta wait it out. She, like I told Cameron, I think she's gone before Star Wars Celebration. I really, really do. She is doing this deliberately. She wants them to fire her, but it's not going to matter. Her plans of making it be about they fired a woman. I'm not going to care. No one's going to care. None of the people that matter are going to care. The Twitterati, oh, you're welcome, David. You're welcome. You're welcome anytime. The Twitterati, they don't run Disney. They don't run hedge funds. They're just a bunch of overage brats that live happily on the internet. Okay, and that's all they do all day long. They can't have. They don't have real human reactions. I'm sure if you had Kate or Lady V walk in and sit down and talk to me, I could probably get her to cry. Because I would hit her with hardcore facts. All right, I would crush her. I would crush her like a grape. All right, and if they were both together, I'd handle both of them, because these people are ultimately cowards. Paulo Hidalgo, he runs and hides on Twitter. When Gina confronts him over him being a dick to her, he runs Kathy Kennedy. See where I'm going? Anyway, it's almost 45 minutes in, and this is my second live. Unless something breaking happens and we gotta talk, all right, I'm not gonna do another video today. If someone wants me to drop in on a stream, I will later. But I will talk to you all later. Behave. Oh, excuse me. Behave. Be well. I got the garbage to take out, kitchen to clean up. It's Lent, so we're eating veggie pizza tonight. You guys all be good. Take it easy. Take care. And I'll see you all around the galaxy.